Okay, next Reddit question. Is Acton Academy a Montessori school? I'm kind of fudging this one a little bit. No one actually asked that exactly, but they were talking about Montessori and trying to sort through, is it Montessori, is it not Montessori? So, is a Montessori school? You can see, maybe you can see here, over in this corner, okay, back there, and all around in the Discovery Studio, our youngest studio is ages 5, sometimes 4, up to about 8 years old. It is a Montessori blended studio. When I say that, we use Montessori materials and methods primarily for the core academic learning. Montessori principles are scattered throughout all of Acton. A lot of the basic founding principles come from Maria Montessori's work. I would not say beyond the studio that we are a Montessori school. That wouldn't really be an accurate description. And we use a lot of principles from Montessori to infuse throughout the learning design of all the studios. So the reason I specify it that way is because at its core, the way Acton Academy came to be is the founders, Jeff and Laura Sandifer. You can read about this in the incredible book called Courage to Grow. They saw a need for a different type of school. They basically took everything they knew about school, dumped it out, and said, let's start over. And then they picked up the very best practices and principles from lots of different places, Montessori being one of those. Now, we're not just talking about educational philosophies. They have practices from psychology, sociology, business, lots of business principles, leadership, and said, if we designed the perfect school for our children. So not only do they have a very thriving and full childhood, but they're prepared for what comes after they graduate. And when I say graduate, I don't mean, well, when I say what comes after graduation, I don't mean college. I mean life, being a good person that contributes meaningfully to the world and has joyful relationships. Think of a whole well-rounded person. Now, they can go to college, but that's just like a step on the path to somewhere bigger and better and more exciting. So full childhood, developed into a mature, upstanding, good person. What do we need to be in this school? And Maria Montessori's principles rose to the top as some of the most empowering for young people, as well as some of the most effective, especially in the young ages, using more concrete principles. That's why there's all the manipulatives. Sorry, I'm backwards. All the manipulatives that you use and touch and move in order to learn a concept. So we start very concrete and move to more abstract. And that principle not only is part of what we do in this studio with the young learners, but as we go through Acton. So is it a Montessori school? Not technically. Are the principles of Maria Montessori all throughout Acton? Absolutely. She, one of the key ones being, let's follow the child. Let's empower children. They're far more capable than we think they are. Let's sit back and watch them learn and grow without intervening so quickly and so forcefully at any age. So, does that answer that? We're not Montessori. In fact, one other point about that, specifically for this studio, which looks the most Montessorian, is it's not fully Montessori, as we have, I'll go get it. Hold, please. We have Acton type principles that we intersperse into the younger ages. So this is a goal setting binder for our very youngest learners. They begin to learn early goal setting when they're 5 years old, so that when they get to the elementary studio, they're familiar with what goal setting looks like, and they'll take on a more refined aspect of goal setting when they get to elementary school. They'll start to learn SMART goals and making sure that they're time bound, and that's a very high level concept I actually didn't even know about till I started the school when I was 40 whatever years old. But they can conceptualize it and they understand it when it's part of their everyday experience. So I'll just show you really quick in the studio how they set their goals. So they have some options of their Montessori works here. We have language, math, sensorial, practical life, and botany. And so this hero, these are works that are in her challenge zone that she's still working to master. And so every day she just will come choose a language and she puts it on her Monday. She sets her language goal, her math, her practical life, sensorial. She sets these goals, and when she's done, she puts them back in there. And then she can set more goals. So it still has all of those beautiful elements of Montessori where they get to choose, where they're following the child, but it's also helping them to think a little more concretely about them being in charge of a more deliberate learning journey, which really serves them well when they get to the next studio. And I'll just show you this too. This is how they track what they've mastered. So as they have a choice in the studio, they're also working to grow their learning, and just they work hard to master these skills. This hero's about done. This was her her reading, well, language arts. So okay, this is all the language arts right here. I'm not going to go into it right now. And then this is her math journey. Look how far she's come. She's done all the basics. She's working on her operations boards. This is her addition and subtraction. She's still working on those. And then gets into multiplication and division. Again, always going from more concrete to more abstract. And this is one way that we help them to conceptualize that and then prepare for the next studio when goal setting is even more abstract than it is here. And they can do it. It's amazing.